Hey everyone, it's Omar Almodovar here with Elite Recruits. In today's video, I'm sitting down with one of our former players to talk about his journey, experience in the program, and ultimately the results he saw and his advice for guys going through the transfer process right now. Luke, go ahead, introduce yourself, tell us where you're from, your position, and where you played at before we started working together.
What's up, everyone? I'm Luke McCullough. I'm a grad right-hand pitcher from San Diego, California, currently at Villanova University. I transferred from Utah Valley University with, in fact, a 20 ERA, and I still got, with the help of elite recruits, I got a lot of offers, a lot of interest, and helped me guide myself through the whole transfer portal without during the summer.
For sure. And now, especially for you, you were able to find a home that's the right fit. You were already at a D1, but it was more so for you about going to a place that your degree was going to be worth something. You're a high academic guy. You went to a great academic school. You're about to graduate this week, and I'm very excited for you. But more importantly, what we talked about just now off camera is how much of an opportunity you've gotten there. I have some of the numbers here. In 2 years there, you've been the Friday night guy, you've been a team captain, and you've thrown 134 innings with a 10-6 record. Talk about your experience so far at Villanova and how that fit has been for you so far.
Oh, Villanova was like a dream come true. Like it's the first place that I've been in my college career. As you know, I've bounced around a lot, that I've had the coach's full support, and I've had the longest leash that I've ever had in my career. Sometimes in the past, I could walk a guy, give up a hit, have no faith in me, and the coaches here really trust me. I get in some trouble, they'll ride me out, and then I'll stay in the game. And it's their support throughout the whole career here has made me fall back in love with baseball.
I love
um, yeah.
Let's take it back a little bit. Before we started working together, where were you at in your recruiting process? What were some of the challenges you were facing, and what were some of the frustrations in doing things on your own?
So leaving Utah Valley, I had really rough stats. All I really had was video, and I didn't really know how to get it out there. I didn't really know that Twitter was or X is now the big name of the transfer portal, that's the biggest lifesaver. And elite recruits basically saved me because with all their followers, they have a ton of coaches following them. They put my first video, I remember it got over 40,000 views, which I would never ever expect seeing
Yeah.
something like that just off of a video of a kid, with the 20 ERA. But just coaches, even stats don't mean everything. Like they could see a vision, see your mechanics, or see how you play, and they could know that you're like a project to work on and definitely turn everything around for you and flip a switch in your head where the grass is sometimes always greener on the other side. So,
For
um,
sure.
yeah.
And for you, that's something that a lot of guys going into the portal are worried because they don't have any stats or their stats don't look great. And that's kind of the theme this year where so many guys enter the portal without having a good track record.
Yeah.
Well, all you needed was the right fit school to take a chance on you. And like I said, it turned into 134 innings pitched in 2 years, being the Friday night guy and having a winning record and throwing quality games for your school. So really excited to have seen that work out for you so well. So when we first connected, what did you feel, you needed the most help with to get yourself to the right fit?
Just basically getting my name out there was the biggest issue. I really didn't have any personal connections, and personal email is sometimes really rough. Like you could send out 100 emails and not even receive a single response. So the fact that the elite recruits had those one-on-one built up connections with these coaches, that was the biggest changer for me. Like Omar would text me, he'd be like, "What do you think of this school?" And I'd be like, I could learn about it." And then within the next hour or two, the head coach from that school would text me personally, and it would set up offers, and it was just a lot of help that I would have never had gotten without the help of elite recruits.
For sure. I don't want to take all the credit there, dude, because you're an absolute stud yourself, and that had a lot to do with it. But it was just being able to put your name in front of those coaches and then letting them decide. And you were already a good player at the beginning of it. So that helps a lot. But for you, so, once we got started, we talked about your goals. We put together a game plan to help you achieve those. Can you talk about how important it was for you to actually have a game plan and guidance rather than just trying to figure it out on your own in such a short time window in the summer?
I mean, you got to know exactly what you want, and you do have to realize when you're in the portal that there's always going to be schools above, there could always be schools above and even below your level. And my best advice there from the game plan that we figured out is you should listen to everyone out because you never know which coach you're going to have the best connection for. And you could end up going to school which you honestly didn't want to go to, but you could turn out loving it and it could be the best experience ever.
Absolutely.
So yeah, the game plan that I had before was email everybody, and that just turned out to not work. But with like I didn't even know you could use Twitter, you could use Twitter DMs, you could text coaches. Like I did not know about any of that stuff before my time in the portal and working with elite recruits. So that was definitely a major help.
Yes, sir. Talk to me a little bit. So obviously we know that you ended up at Villanova, but that wasn't the only offer you had. What did the results look like for you? And how would you say your exposure and contact with coaches changed once we started working together?
Oh man, I every almost every morning I'd wake up with about 5 to 10 new DMs like during the deep part of the summer because I ended up committing like in late July. So coaches at that time people start scrambling, especially for pitching. And yeah, it would just change because I would wake up from DMs and text messages from schools like I never even heard of. And sometimes like these big name schools would even be talking to me because you never know, like they might need a last second experienced arm. So that was a major aspect that I had never received before. And like Omar knows, like this was actually my third time in the portal. This was the only time in the portal I was in like with proper guidance. So and like the change is definitely huge with the help and it helped me like find a place that I will go out with a bang. I live and die by Villanova and I can't say that for the other programs that I previously attended.
For
So
sure.
it was awesome.
Awesome. I love that. So, and it's funny you mentioned elastic arm because you've thrown an absolute ton out there, but that's why you transfer. You wanted an opportunity to be able to show that you're the guy. And when you transferred previously on your own, you just went through what the coaches were telling you and not actually having that connection. And I'm really happy that it worked out on the end. And now getting ready to go play pro ball, getting ready to graduate, and extremely exciting times for you. So, a lot of players, watching this right now might wonder, what it's actually like being inside of the program. How would you describe, the support, the communication, and the overall experience?
Oh, the supports, that's through the roof. Omar knows himself. Like he's been in the portal before. He knows better than almost anybody that his priority is to help you. A lot of people just ask for money grabs with these programs. Omar, he's even helped my friends out like with pay and everything. Like his main goal is to get you to sign, like to find your place, keep playing ball because that's your dream and you should continue doing it. So that has definitely been one of the biggest helps for me as well.
For sure. Now, obviously, there's a ton of recruiting guys out there, but it's very different when it's somebody that's actually gone through the transfer
Yeah.
themselves, gone through the JUCO route, and now with a ton of stats, either really having to figure it out until I got same like you to the right fit, and then was able to go and play every single day. So let me ask you this. Obviously, we had never met before, right?
Yeah.
And did you have any hesitations or doubts about working with somebody online or using a recruiting service before this?
No, I mean, I was just on Twitter one day and saw elite recruits, and then I saw like all the videos you're posting were getting thousands, tens of thousands of views. I was like, I really need something like this. And you had no hesitation with working with me, and it was just a big guide throughout the whole time. And that's just you just gotta do your research, and I'm so happy with the decisions I made.
I
And it's led to a
appreciate
lot of opportunities down the road. So
that. No, and I love how we've also, we're done working together, but we've stayed in contact. I'm still aware of when you're pitching. I remember watching you this year open up the season against Virginia and Puerto Rico.
yeah, dude.
Seeing you pitch so well against a team like that was surreal for me. If someone is watching this, right, and they're still on the fence about working with me, what would you tell them?
I'd say, I mean, you never know unless you try it. That's the biggest thing. You never know unless you try.
Sure. Now, the last question for you, for guys out there that, want to follow your journey, what would you give in terms of advice to guys going into the transfer portal this summer and how they should go about their business?
I would my biggest advice would just be respectful to other coaches, and also take it like also listen to what they have to say. Like I was saying earlier, you never know like how good of a fit a school could be until you really hear a school out. That's what I feel, because like once first started talking with Villanova, there was I was used to be in the Big East myself, and I never really knew what could become from it, because like I'm from San Diego. I didn't originally see myself going to school in Philly until I really heard all the coaches out and heard their plan for me and what they envisioned me as. So that's my best advice.
Absolutely. Now, obviously, you're getting ready to, start your journey on the other side of baseball in pro ball. If anybody wants to follow your journey or reach out to you, where can they find you on social media?
You could find me on Instagram at Luke McCullough, or Twitter McCullough Luke.
Awesome, man. I appreciate you. Good luck this weekend. I can't wait to see you graduate, and definitely looking forward to keep following your journey. Thanks again for hopping on and sharing your story, man. Like, it's very, very inspiring, and I appreciate you putting your trust in me. And for any of you guys watching this, if you have any questions or you need any help throughout the recruiting process, the next step is simple. Send me a message, reach out to me. In the worst case scenario that I can't help you, I will at least point you in the right direction.